Well, it's a tremendous honor to be here to speak, co-curate, and co-chair this prestigious Great Wealth Transfer Series in alliance with the Caribbean Corporate Governance Institute. And really the evolution of this whole situation has been a very positive, uplifting, and organic process that I think everyone has gained great traction from and seen the greater picture of what's now happening over the coming 25 years and generation. Again, we've covered previously from other discussions on what a family office is, what private wealth is, what the next gen are, and I've covered that in a number of other discussions. But what I thought was even more intriguing now is to bring these experts of all these many moving parts together from around the globe, so the Caribbean can have literally a box seat and be able to ask all the questions that they require to ensure that we take things forward and bring greater economic and other prosperity. But what does the Great Wealth Transfer really mean? Well, it's not purely a financial situation and reserved for the ultra wealthy or for private wealth. It's impactful for every person in the world, from financial and economic, political, technological, cultural, social, and for some people, it's even a spiritual experience. Essentially, it's one of the most influential catalysts and gateways to what and how we will globalize, digitally transform, harmonize, and interconnect our world as we know it today and into the future. But look, to make a light analogy, much like the famous Marvel superhero characters, we all seem to have a favorite of ours with that special superpower. Well, similarly, we have been really selective in choosing the most practical, real-world experts from around the globe who possess specialized knowledge or that distinguishable superpower that few others possess. As a result, it provides the Caribbean to have a thorough understanding of the key areas and opportunities, and of course, changes we'll face during the Great Wealth Transfer, and how to create their own superpower or superpowers to best prepare for this trend, create new markets that serve the global community, and lend to commerce and industry for sustainable economic growth into the future. Look, we've already covered the enormity of the private wealth world in the other previous discussions. And one study states that there will be a $30 trillion transfer in wealth in the coming few years, and an enormous 68 trillion by 2060 in the USA alone. One thing to learn, and I had to learn this the old-fashioned way by literally living in countries for 6 and 12 and sometimes several years at a time to become, let's just say, a non-virtual global citizen. But now we're absolutely and unequivocally in the era of the virtual global citizen. It is upon us, it is here now, and it is here to stay. That means there's no longer borders for a great deal of international business as technological uptake improves and the metaverse continues to become a reality. People do not need to live in a country full-time to truly engage. What this brings is extraordinary opportunity to be a major force, because the Caribbean are smaller, more nimble, and can implement policy and initiatives to be the first mover and catalyst. But there are so many moving parts and elements that comprise the Great Wealth Transfer, besides private wealth, such as sovereign wealth funds and pension funds, digital and tech transfer, particularly the new trend towards impact and ESG, the structuring of wealth, incentives, hard assets versus liquid assets versus digital assets and crypto, and so many other factors that comprise this Pandora's box of opportunity. It's almost a question of where do you start once you know all the moving parts. But what is pivotal is the Caribbean sees this ecosystem of these many moving parts, which we have the opportunity to understand, connect the dots, unify, and of course, cultivate a community of trust and aligned interests, which are most paramount. And that is a differentiation point where being small can sometimes be great. We've previously discussed how E plus ESG, which is entrepreneurship, economic returns, and ESG, in the prior conference can be taken to a much higher level of professional management and leadership in the private wealth, governmental, institutional, tech, and other influential segments. And there's also been many recent movements in the US, UK, EU, and globally on sustainability, alternative energy, gender equality, inclusion, and related initiatives. But now the opportunity is here to grow the alternative investment category of social impact and ESG to another level. 25 or 30 years ago, where were private equity, hedge fund, venture capital, and these other alternative investment sectors? They were in their earlier stage or infancy. My question to all of you is this: what would the world look like if at an institutional and private wealth level, there were 5 trillion in debt and bonds and 5 trillion in equities, private capital, and unleveraged digital asset denominations channeled to profitable social impact and ESG related investments in the coming 10 to 15 years? I believe that would probably have a new alternative investment category for the betterment of the world. So my suggestion is the Great Wealth Transfer series acts as a catalyst and call to action, where proper governance in the galvanization of this growing alternative institutional investment category is executed in the spirit of the 3 C's: collaboration, co-creation, and of course, co-elevation of one another to become greater than we are. With the Caribbean now having that golden opportunity with the guidance of the many global experts who are speakers and panelists at this prestigious conference, providing not just a roadmap, but maybe that special superpower for potential success should you choose to take it.